Hi, my name is Caleb Mosier. I'm 25 years of age. I'm a junior here at Northwest Missouri State, and I'm a drag queen. I started doing makeup at a really young age. I was always kind of interested in playing around with it. I would say that I really came into it around 19, right after I graduated high school. Started dabbling in it, and then I began doing a lot of freelance work. I did proms and homecomings. I did like senior pictures. I did weddings. And from there, I decided that I really wanted to start playing with it myself. I got to do all these transformations on other people. And I said, well, why don't I get to have any of the fun? So I dressed up one night. I did my first bar pageant. And ever since then, I've been going at it. I really decided that I wanted to do drag, I would say probably almost right around the time that I turned 21. I had yet to be really exposed to the drag scene outside of things like RuPaul's Drag Race and any kind of drag that you would see in movies. But it's really not the same that you see in movies or on TV, especially since it has come such a long way in the past few years, probably credited to things like RuPaul's Drag Race that was able to really put drag out there in social media. There's opportunities all over the place. There's no set place where you can get started doing drag. There are drag queens like Mrs. Fame. She was a well-known makeup artist who kind of did the same things that I did until she got booked to do different fashion shows after doing makeup on herself. She got booked doing fashion shows, and then she's kind of moved up the ranks, and now she's her own supermodel in her own league. And there are actually the previous winner of RuPaul's Drag Race, Bianca Del Rio, as well as a previous contestant, Shangela. They're both stand-up comedians, and they took that kind of avenue of doing drag and making a name for themselves. I actually did get to compete in the Miss Gay America system. It's just like any other pageant system, like the Miss USA or Miss America system. What happens is you just compete at your preliminary, you go to state, and then you go to nationals. I did get the runner-up at my preliminary and was able to compete at the state level. I didn't win, but I did get Miss Congeniality. I would say that my biggest inspiration and influences actually come a lot from social media and like YouTubers who have started from nothing and they've really made a really big name for themselves. People like Manny MUA, or if you look at the boy who just got booked for CoverGirl doing the very first male makeup ad, and he's their very first male ambassador. He started just as a YouTuber. I've done a few really cool transformations that I really love. I did a really fun like blue contoured makeup that was kind of like a play on like a dragged out Snow King. I've also done like a purple-based galactic alien princess kind of a look once that I've really enjoyed. My favorite part about the process is just the transformation on whether I'm doing a client or whether I'm doing myself. I think it's really exciting to take something that is just so, not necessarily basic, but you're taking your face as a canvas and you're transforming it into something completely different, and that's really exciting. My least favorite part about the process would be the cleanup afterwards. If you see my station whenever I'm done, I just have things completely strewn from one end to the other. I love absolutely getting it all out. I mean, it's kind of like a kid taking out all their toys. They love to pull it all out, but they never want to put it away. And plus, after you spend all the time to get yourself all up in the geesh, it's kind of sad to say goodbye and let it all go. You spent, at least 3 hours getting ready and you only get to wear it for that evening. The average process of getting into drag or really any kind of like special effects makeup that I do is going to take me anywhere from like 2 to 3 hours, usually at most. And that's from the time that I start, prepping my face to doing all my makeup, any kind of headpiece or wig work that I have to get done. And then if I'm doing like costume and body, that's something that I have to take account into because it takes forever to get into like tights and all the pads that I have to put on. So I would say at least 3 hours. I would say the hardest part mentally and physically for me, physically, it's a really uncomfortable thing to do. You're in layers and layers and layers of tights. You have, at least 2 to 3 wigs on, lashes, makeup. You're in corsets and heels for, you know, if I'm getting ready for the night and I start at 6 o'clock and I go home at, you know, 3 in the morning when the bar closes, you know, it's tiring, but the work is definitely worth it. So, and like I said, it's really hard to find like a significant other, because a lot of people don't really understand. They think, well, maybe you want to be a woman. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm a really big supporter of the trans community, but a lot of people don't see it as being two separate entities. Like for me, like I am a male and I'm really happy in my skin being a male. I don't ever want to be a woman, but it's really fun for me to dress up and create this whole new character, just like if you were writing a character for a play that, you know, you wanted to do. The best part for me mentally and physically, I don't particularly feel like sexy as a man. I'm confident in my own skin, you know, I feel like I look fine, but I really rely more on like my charm and personality. When it comes to drag, you get to be this whole new person. It's such a glamorous experience. You get to be this gorgeous, you know, creature that's of your own creation, and that's really it really makes me feel confident. It really makes me feel empowered. What people think of drag, I think that's kind of it's not necessarily a touchy subject, but I think that people's opinions are kind of all across the board. As far as like the gay community, I think that it's kind of half and half. There's a lot of people who are obviously like wild fans of drag. There's people that go to gay bars just to see drag, but when you kind of get out of that, there's a lot of people who aren't very knowledgeable and they don't really know a lot of it. They just know what they kind of seen on TV or maybe what they've seen in movies, and they don't necessarily understand it. So I would say that unless you really have immersed yourself into the culture and into the art form, there's a lot of misconceptions about it. Any final thoughts? I would say that I would recommend that if you have not gone to see a drag show yourself live, I would say, you know, go to your next Pride Festival, go to your local gay bar, see what they have. And if you're interested in trying it, there's a lot of bars that host like open stage and open mic nights that allow you to, you know, get a foot in the door and start out your career. So really go out, immerse yourself in the art form, and get to know what it's all about. My name is Caleb Mosier, and thanks for watching Amazing Things.